Hello and welcome to EcoAudit 2020 Democrats Edition. In this mini-series, we'll be looking at the environmental record of the top 5 highest polling Democrats in May of 2019. Today's episode will investigate Kamala Harris. Let's begin. First off, let's go and check out her score with the League of Conservation Voters. This is a group that independently assesses the environmental record of people in Congress. Kamala Harris has received a score of 100% from them. 100%. She has not messed up a single environment vote. She has a perfect record. Granted, she's only been in Congress for 2 years and has only voted on 33 environmental bills, but having a perfect record is still quite admirable. Let's look at some of these votes. She voted against the confirmation of many of Trump's anti-environment cabinet members, including Andrew Wheeler, David Bernhardt, Scott Pruitt, Ryan Zinke, and Rex Tillerson. In terms of actual votes, some notable ones are that she voted no on the anti-environment rescission package. I'll let LCV explain what that was. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy sponsored H.R. 3, the Spending Cuts to Expired and Unnecessary Programs Act, also known as the rescission package, which would have cut funding for several programs that protect our environment and public health. H.R. 3 would slash programs that promote needed investments in clean energy and conservation, as well as $16 million for the Land and Water Conservation Fund. Additionally, this package, which the Trump administration proposed, irresponsibly rescinds funding levels agreed upon by Congress, and much of the funding that H.R. 3 would cut has been identified for future use and can continue to support projects and communities across the country. She voted against a bill that would severely weaken our ability to protect the environment. Continuing on the theme of protection, Kamala Harris also voted to protect the Arctic Refuge. Again, quoting LCV, "This amendment would remove the budget reconciliation instructions that paved the way for drilling in the pristine and sacred Arctic National Wild Refuge." Let's look at one more important vote. Harris voted against a bill that would block efforts to reduce dangerous methane pollution released by the oil and gas industry on our public and tribal lands. The Bureau of Land Management's BLM methane rule established common sense standards that require oil and gas companies to deploy readily available, cost-effective measures to reduce methane loss through venting, flaring, and leaks. It's important that she voted against this bill because, with natural gas becoming so prevalent, methane pollution is going to get far worse. Alright, now let's knock off some key points. First, what is her climate plan? Unfortunately, she doesn't have a policy page on her website, which really isn't that uncommon, but there is a transcript of her launch speech. Here's a clip.
Let's speak truth. Climate change is real, and it is happening now. Everybody here knows, from wildfires in the west, to hurricanes in the east, to floods and droughts in the heartland. But we're not going to buy the lie. We're going to act based on science fact, not science fiction.
So what's her climate plan? This is where I had to do some research, so you better be thankful. If you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe. This stuff actually took work to make sure it was valid and all. So there's a limited amount of clips of her talking about climate change, probably largely because she's only been on the national stage for a couple of years and she's only started her campaign a few months ago, but I did manage to find this clip.
Climate change is real. And it poses an existential threat to us as human beings. And it is within our power to do something about it.
Just those words alone aren't nearly enough to convince me of anything, and they shouldn't convince you either. Don't get me wrong. Rhetoric is often an indicator of good intentions. Our current president is a piece of garbage for not even feigning any proactive interest in climate change, and his words, or lack thereof, have certainly matched his actions. Kamala certainly scores some points in this respect, but we've been talking about climate change for years. It's time to take action. So, Kamala, what action should we take?
I am supporting the Green New Deal.
Great. That's an excellent policy position. Alright, so this actually answers my next question, which is if she supports the Green New Deal or not. Her climate plan is the Green New Deal. Another big policy issue is campaign donations. So where does she stand on this? Well, she's agreed to not take any donations from corporate PACs, as you can see if you go on her website. She has yet to sign the No Fossil Fuel Pledge, though, which puts her behind candidates like O'Rourke and Buttigieg as far as campaign integrity. I don't really know why she hasn't taken this action. She doesn't seem to take money from big oil or anything, so signing the pledge would just solidify what she's already been doing. Her campaign is still relatively new, so it's not unlikely that she'll sign in the future. Lastly, let's look at rhetoric before the campaign. Climate change is a huge issue nowadays, and candidates can be more in the spotlight if they talk about the issue. But how did Kamala talk about it before she was running for president? Here's a clip of her in 2016 discussing the issue.
I have been very proud as Attorney General of California to be the only one on this stage to have actively defended California's environmental laws against extraordinary attacks, in particular fueled by the oil industry. And I'll say this, I'm very proud to have the endorsement in this race of the NRDC and the Sierra Club. And I believe that part of the endorsement comes from a track record of having defended California's climate change laws and also looking at what we need to do to go forward. I'd say California is the canary in the coal mine on this issue, and California will be the solution for our nation and for this globe.
Might I also add that when she was Attorney General of California, she prosecuted ExxonMobil for lying to the public about the threats of climate change. If we're going to truly tackle climate change, we need to hit it right at the source. So that's Kamala Harris. She has a perfect record in the Senate for environment, did some great things as Attorney General, and supports the Green New Deal. Her most notable disadvantages are that she's not as aggressive about climate change as more progressive candidates like Bernie, and that she hasn't signed the No Fossil Fuel Money Pledge. What do you think? Is she a good candidate for the environment? Let us know in the comments down below. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at @WeAreEcocentric, where we post twice a day about environmental issues. That's all for me, and I'm searching to save the world. See you next week.